Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Will Harry return to a royal role? According to King Charles, no. More on Harry in a moment, but the future King, Prince William, issued a statement about Israel and Hamas. It reads, "I remain deeply concerned about the terrible human cost of the conflict in the Middle East since the Hamas terrorist attack on 7th of October. Too many have been killed. I, like so many others, want to see an end to the fighting as soon as possible. There is a desperate need for increased humanitarian support to Gaza. It's critical that aid gets in and the hostages are released. Sometimes it is only when faced with the sheer scale of human suffering that the importance of permanent peace is brought home. Even in the darkest hour, we must not succumb to the counsel of despair. I continue to cling to the hope that a brighter future can be found, and I refuse to give up on that." As Prince William arrived at the British Red Cross headquarters, he was briefed on the humanitarian efforts being made in the Gaza region. During his visit, he participated in a video call with the teams on the ground who are actively involved in the humanitarian response efforts in Gaza. In a forthcoming event, the prince is scheduled to engage in a dialogue at a synagogue with young individuals from various communities. These young advocates are actively working against hatred and antisemitism. Specific details about this upcoming engagement are currently withheld from the public. Royal expert Ingrid Seward explains it was a most unusual statement, telling the Mirror, "William obviously feels passionate about the effects of the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Although this is not the first time he has spoken out with such feeling, it is his strongest declaration yet." Last October, Kensington Palace released a carefully worded statement on behalf of both the Prince and Princess of Wales, expressing their distress at the horrific events. Since then, William has been following events on a daily basis and seen the horrors that many innocent young families on both sides of the conflict have had to endure. But by dint of his position as Prince of Wales, William cannot make his political views public, but he can make subtle hints as to exactly how strongly he feels. Releasing such a pointedly worded statement today is most unusual and illustrates just how desperate William feels. It certainly reminds us William is a force to be reckoned with. He refuses to hide behind the mantle of his royalty. There are things he wants to do and needs to say. A spokesperson for the Prime Minister said, "William's statement is consistent with the government's position and we welcome that intervention. It is important that we speak with one voice as a nation." Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams told The Express, "In speaking out about the terrible human cost of the conflict and the desperate need for increased humanitarian support, he is trying to use his position to help with carefully balanced engagements in Britain, visiting those providing aid and a synagogue. There are those who feel a monarch should avoid contentious matters. What is important is that he should avoid talking positions which are party political." In this, he is following his father's footsteps, as Charles always saw the role of Prince of Wales as one where he could be active in helping. In the case of the Middle East, it was furthering understanding between religions. William is very much the diplomat. Following his intervention in this crisis, he will need diplomatic skills as the situation seems likely to worsen. Emily Ferguson writes in The Express, "By pushing the current Gaza conflict, William is proving that he's in touch with the British public as thousands of people take to the streets each weekend to call on for an immediate ceasefire. He has firmly taken a moral stance which will cut through." While the future king was working on world peace, the Spare and his wife shared a statement to People. "We loved being back in Canada, a place so meaningful to both of us. It was an honour to be welcomed by the 4 host First Nations as we marked 1 year to go, together with Invictus coaches, competitors and families. It filled our hearts to once again be surrounded by Canadian people, food and culture. We felt the Invictus spirit and excitement through Whistler and Vancouver and are so grateful to all our hosts for organising such a memorable visit. We're counting down the days until we return." Michael Buble and Luciana Lopalato had a double date with Harry and Meghan last week. Buble decided to sing a song telling the audience how happy he was that we can show Harry and Meghan how beautiful this place is. He then sang custom lyrics to the melody of My Way, which honoured Harry as a visionary and sent healing wishes to King Charles. It is unclear if anyone was nauseous. A source told the Daily Mail, "Have the King and Harry been speaking? Yes. Does this mean a return to the fold, even temporarily? No." Another insider added, "Aside from a small number of investitures, the King does not plan to offload a great number of duties on other family members while he undergoes treatment." A royal source told OK Magazine, Meghan doesn't want anything to do with it and is keen to stay away from England, but Harry is of the opinion that he must repair the damage that has been caused. There have been plenty of emotional conversations and heart-to-hearts over the best way to handle the situation and move forward. Harry wants to put an end to the feud and regrets the way that things have turned out. There's no plan B for Harry. Patching things up with his family is the only option. It's finally hit home how difficult it will be to repair the damage caused by the various swipes at his family over the years. Harry wants to spend more time in the UK and bring the children over to be with their grandparents and cousins, but he will have to prove himself first. That's been made very clear to him. A source told the Mail, whatever has been discussed between William and the King is private, but it is absolutely and categorically clear that William would not allow Harry to return. He thought it was a bad idea at the time, and he's even more clear now. If anyone is going to take on more duties, it will be William, and that isn't even on the agenda for now. His main focus is on his father's health, his family, and what is best for the monarchy. There is a 0% chance Harry is coming back in any capacity. Royal commentator Josh Romm, speaking to Sky News Digital, is amused at the paradox of Harry and Meghan's move to Los Angeles to advance their Hollywood careers, only to see a greater outpouring of celebrity support for the monarch and his heir. Romm described the situation as ironic, noting the tendency of entertainment figures to align themselves more with the senior royals back in the UK. Palace Intrigue will be right back. In a landmark celebration for the royal family, King George V's great-great-granddaughter, Ellen Lascelles, married her partner, Chantal Macpherson, in an exuberant outdoor ceremony. The 39-year-old aristocrat and her partner, known as Shan, exchanged vows amidst the natural beauty of Byron Bay hinterland. The niece of David Lascelles, the 8th Earl of Harewood, Ellen's union with Shan was marked by a charming handmade banner that read, "Here come the brides." The couple who reside in Australia are blending their family, with Ellen bringing 2 children, Jack and Penny, from a previous relationship, and Shan contributing a daughter, Raf, as the owner of a design firm. In contrast to the traditional royal weddings of the past, such as that of Ellen's grandparents, which featured a reception at St. James Palace graced by royalty, Ellen chose a serene outdoor setting surrounded by picturesque hills, lush forests, and waterfalls. Describing the event, Ellen shared that they were encircled by many of their dearest friends for what was the funniest, hottest, most love-filled day I could ever imagine. Camilla continues to fill the news void left by Kate. The royal family Twitter account shared how it was a perfect day at Clarence House. Her Majesty has welcomed guests and furry friends to Clarence House to celebrate 15 years of Med Detect Dogs, a charity which trains dogs to save lives using their amazing sense of smell. The official account left out the part where one of the dogs was supposed to deliver a gift to the Queen, but instead ran around for a while before finally delivering it. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or your app of choice. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.